Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where, wow, it's lost the Midcard. That's all I have to say. Wow. We are doing a little...
We're the podcast where, wow?
Yeah, where, wow. I have nothing else to say but wow after tonight. Wow. What?
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 What? Amazing night. We are trying something different, something we've talked about for a while, recording after Takeover and then recording after SummerSlam and putting them both together for our show on Monday. So this is part one of it. We'll put that together with part two, mainly because, I mean, it's 6 hours tomorrow, so it's going to be a long day and night of wrestling. So we decided to break up the recordings. And thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit the subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, most every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostTheMidcard. It's also on our pinned tweet at LITMC Podcast. We also retweet a lot of the great tweets from the pro wrestling world, so make sure to follow us at LITMC Podcast. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers, and as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
How could I not be doing great after an amazing show from NXT? Wow.
Wow. That was, yeah, normally I go, welcome to the podcast where, and I just say, wow. Because that was the sum of the night. It was a perfect night. There was no time to catch your breath on any of the 5 matches. Were there, Matt?
It was awesome, dude. Like, every match was fantastic. I don't think anybody that lost was hurt tonight. Actually, I think one of the matches, somebody was elevated by losing tonight. It was just a top to bottom amazing show with some great, surprises / debuts, and
there was
it was an awesome freaking show.
There was a takeover. There was a takeover at Takeover, wasn't there?
Oh man,
we've got our NXT version of the Outsiders, and nobody saw that. Do
you think Dijak and Leo Rush are going to join them?
That would be cool. I do think
are they going to, is this going to be like a bigger than a 3-man stable?
I would assume Dijak joins them. I think Dijak could be a great mercenary for Adam Cole and Red Dragon. I think he would be their mercenary. He would be like their test of the corporation type of guy. Don't you see that with Dijak?
I mean, it totally could be.
I don't know about Rush, but I could totally see Dijak in that group. It'd be interesting to see Rush in that group, but I don't know if he really fits in that group.
Well, to be fair, like the last match, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly were tearing each other apart.
Yeah.
Do they really fit together right now? No.
Good point. And nobody saw that coming. Those three uniting to form an ROH stable.
Honest to God, I should have seen it coming.
Yeah,
but my frame of logic was, I don't think they're going to debut Adam Cole and put him right into the main event picture. So when he wasn't shown in the crowd, I'm like, all right, well, they're going to hold off his debut. and he's not going to show up in the main event.
Yeah. I tweeted Matt.
I was completely wrong.
I tweeted Matt. I go, is he going to show up during or after the match now since he's not at ringside? Matt's like, no way. I'm like, I think you're right. And as soon as the crowd started stirring when we thought Morrow was signing off, oh boy, I did not expect to see Red Dragon in that moment. I expected the first person to see in that moment was Adam Cole. And then I see Red Dragon, I'm like, the light bulb went off. I'm like,
Adam Cole's the third man!
I'm like,
it's the NWO!
We've got a takeover at Takeover. Oh, the Ring of Honor. That'd be cool if that was the name of the group. That ain't.
There's not a chance.
No. But it was really cool to see Kerry Silkin send out a tweet after the event saying how proud he was of his boys.
I didn't say it.
Yeah, he tweeted after the show went off the air about how he was proud of his boys. Matt Jackson tweeted. I think I just saw a ghost.
I saw a ghost. Yeah, I tweeted that out. You know the story behind that, right?
No.
Okay, do you don't watch their internet show Being the Elite?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, when they wrote Adam Cole off the show, they quote unquote killed Adam Cole with a drugged bottle of Monster Rehab. So they killed him off. In story on Being the Elite, Adam Cole is dead. So the whole thing about it being a ghost is because in the world of the Being the Elite internet show, Adam Cole has passed away because the Young Bucks killed him with a drugged Monster Energy drink.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, I know. So, and they had this one spot like a month ago. They were in. It was them, Hangman, and Cody. I think we're in a Toys R Us, and they showed like this Stardust figure. Like this mutant Stardust figure. Cody's like, oh, there it is. I've been looking all over for this. It's like, you got to grab it. He's like, I got to. And then he reaches next to it and grabs the Roman Reigns figure. And he walks away and he comes back and picks up the toy NXT belt and says, I got to pick this up for Adam. May he rest in peace. And they just laughed and walked away.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, if you're not watching Being the Elite, honestly, you really should. I mean, it's already like 65 or 66 episodes in, but it's hilarious stuff, and they do a lot of work on it, and it's really entertaining stuff for all of the the characters, the Young Bucks and Marty Scurll and Kenny Omega and stuff like that, and Cody. And that's where the fuck the revival thing came from.
Yeah, so I'm wondering.
It came from Being the Elite when they actually got a cease and desist order from WWE on that. They can't say fuck the revival anymore.
Really? Yeah.
So yeah, it's been like their main storyline in like the last 2 episodes.
Well, I could say FTR and we know what it means.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy.
So so next time they go back to Toys R Us and see the new NXT line of toys, they can find the revival.
Oh man, do you hear the bad news?
No.
It's a revival. I'm hearing they're out till December.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have many headlines to cover because we're just doing NXT Takeover.
Oh, I'm just in a good mood, and I'm just rambling about pro wrestling right now, ladies and gentlemen.
We will cut in with 2 pieces of news. Let's just go ahead and do that now. Let's do 3.
Let's get them out of the way.
Yeah, let's do 3 pieces of news then, because thanks for reminding me about Scott Dawson. Unfortunately, Scott Dawson is going to be out until December, so a rough year for the revival continues. Dawson, what was his injury? Was it a torn lat?
Broken jaw.
Or not? No, that was Dash's. That was Dash's.
No, it was torn bicep.
Torn bicep. That's right. Torn bicep for Scott.
Which one's Dawson? Which one's Dash?
Yeah, that was fitting after you thought he had a broken jaw.
Yeah, I know. That's why I felt I'd make fun of myself there.
God, it sucks though. I mean, God, what a bad year for those guys, and hopefully Vince doesn't sour on them.
That's what I'm worried about, honestly.
Yeah.
One guy goes out, and they come back, they give him a renewed push, and the other guy goes down. And you know how Vince gets.
Yep.
When people get hurt. I'm a little worried about it.
I mean, Wilder's broken jaw, I mean, that was just kind of a freak thing. And, well, I mean, Dawson's biceps kind of a freak thing, too. I mean, those things happen. It's not like those guys were out injured a lot in NXT. I don't think they ever were injured, were they?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
not that I can recall. I mean, they might have been, but I can't recall it off the top of my head.
It's just a string of bad luck for those guys. Hopefully, they can both put together a good run to have themselves have their first ever WrestleMania match next year in New Orleans. Because I was looking forward to the Hardys and the Revival, but
it would have been good. And they had to throw the Hardys together in some makeshift garbage tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
and a third kickoff show match, the 6-man tag we hypothesized maybe would be the cooler before the main event, is actually going to be on the pre-show. So we'll have 3 pre-show matches where the Miz and the Miztourage take on Jason Jordan and the Hardys. I was hoping it was like kind of the cooler before the main event, because you get that big pop for the Hardys, during the SummerSlam, but that's okay. We'll still, I mean, they'll still get a huge pop on the pre-show. So
yeah.
Speaking of pre-shows, the NXT pre-show was pretty damn good tonight, wasn't it?
It was probably the most entertaining pre-show I've seen from WWE in a long time.
Yeah, they went to an hour, and they brought in a bunch of NXT's past. Big E, I loved they flashed back to the 5 count when he was the second ever NXT champion when he defeated Seth Rollins.
Yep.
That was entertaining. Big E was great. I thought Neville was great on there.
Neville was amazing.
With his, if only they would have not had fucking mic problems for Neville. I mean, even when they gave him the physical mic, they still had problems. But still, it was great. And I loved how they brought up the fact that Corey Graves turned on him when they were former NXT Tag Team Champions. That kind of put a chill in the room. I thought Baron Corbin was great in there as well. I thought the ladies were great when we had Charlie Caruso with Carmella, Sasha, and Lita. I thought that was amazing, And we got a slew of backstage interviews from NXT's greats too, with Shinsuke Nakamura, Becky Lynch, Bayley. So it was a very good pre-show, Matt.
Yeah, I like it. Look, it set up. It's set up for a great show.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel so bad. Like I want to believe with all my heart, JB, that we can feel like this same kind of high tomorrow after SummerSlam's over.
24 hours from now.
Yeah, but I just don't believe that we're going to, and that kind of bums me out.
No. But
I want to feel this way after a WWE pay-per-view. And yet, more often than not, the only time I ever feel this kind of excitement is like after an NXT takeover's done. And that sucks.
It does. And this is my first live takeover, I think, in a while. I don't know if I watched the last one live or not. I know I couldn't watch Orlando live, but I can't remember. But, what a show. And so recording tonight was a great idea. Before all the insanity of tonight, some more good news. And this time, for once, it comes out of Global Force Wrestling. We have a new Global Force Wrestling heavyweight champion. And hold on to your asses, people, because it is Eli Drake. Dummy. Yeah.
Spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When have you really cared about spoiling TNA?
Hey, I'm just saying, if you were looking forward to watching Thursday and wondering who was going to be the champion, JB just spoiled it for you. So, sorry guys.
It's been
you can direct all your hate and venom to @JB Huskers on the Twitter machine.
It's been all over Twitter. It's just like when someone debuts at NXT and that's spoiled. It was all over Twitter when it was taped. So, yeah, maybe they should have made him champion live instead of taped, and then maybe we wouldn't spoil it. Dummy, yeah. How cool is that? First week on the job for Jim Cornette replacing Bruce Pritchard, and we get Eli Drake all of a sudden pushed back to the top of the card. How about that, Matt?
I think it's great. And honestly, if you watch the show on Thursday, you would think Eli Drake really didn't have a shot to win because it's a 20-man gauntlet for the gold, and Jim Cornette put him at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So Eli Drake basically is going to last the entire match and win. So it sure as hell ain't any type of fluke or anything like that.
Nope.
So pretty damn cool.
As Matt said, 20-man gauntlet to name the new champion after Alberto El Patron was stripped of the title, which we talked about on the last edition of Lost to the Midcard. Eddie Edwards was the final competitor eliminated. Eli Drake, his real name is Sean Ricker, 34 years old. He was a WWE developmental talent. Also was featured in The Rock's reality series The Hero a few years back. He had been on the independent scene in California before signing with WWE, and then, of course, coming to TNA, where he received a pretty sizable push for a while until Anthem and Jeff Jarrett took over, and he basically dropped as far as you could almost believe. But then all of a sudden, and this is something we haven't even talked about, because I think this happened after we recorded, Matt, but Jim Cornette comes in replacing Bruce Pritchard. That happened on Thursday after we had already recorded. So it's funny how just a slight change in management, and all of a sudden we hear a lot of good things come out of this taping, right?
I don't know what they taped tonight, but what I've read from the last couple days of tapings have been good. Yeah. And I honestly liked what I saw on Thursday on their quote unquote, live show. This is the start of the company turning the corner and actually doing, good things. I'm all for that. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, so if you're a regular listener to the show, I'm happy that Eli Drake is your new Global Force Wrestling champion. Dummy, yeah!
Yes, we know, Mr. Dummy, yeah.
Ric Flair update. Ric Flair's manager, Melinda Zeroni, posted a following update on Ric Flair's health on Twitter, saying that the Nature Boy is awake, communicating, and progressing. There are complications, so rest for the first time in 40 years is what Ric Flair needs to do. She even mentioned that Ric Flair cut a promo on a nurse. So Rick is getting back to his old self. Good to hear that he's getting better. And so, we continue to give our well wishes to Ric Flair as he gets better after surgery. Matt, there was a little show tonight called NXT Takeover, wasn't there?
That's why we're here, pal.
Wow. We kick off the night with Code Orange, one of the bands that had a theme for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Great way to start the show with the live performance while putting in clips that of stuff leading up to the show while they're performing. I thought that was really well done. The crowd was into it, a lot more into it than when Pitbull or Flo Rida perform at a WrestleMania, right, Matt?
Yeah.
The crowd actually liked this performance. So good stuff from Code Orange. Not the last we'll see of Code Orange, though, which was another cool moment later on. First match of the evening, Johnny Gargano comes out to a gigantic Brooklyn pop. There's a Gargano section with his emoji, his winking emoji. They're on opposite side of the camera. That was pretty badass. Andrade Cien Almas comes out with Zelina Vega, and woo, was she looking fine tonight. Crowd is hot for Gargano in the early on, and we knew this was going to be a great match, Matt, but they just took it to another level, didn't they?
Oh, it was awesome. It was a great showing from both guys.
Did you think when Gargano locked in the Gargano escape that eventually it was going to be it?
Yeah, I thought he was tapping. I thought that was the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, it was not. But.
Now, two different attempts of escaping by Cien Almas and could not get out of the escape, but he finally got out and with some great power move, slamming him into a buckle bomb. And then he got the knees to the face, the crowd going nuts over the near falls at that point. And a very interesting moment. when Zelina Vega threw a DIY shirt at Johnny Gargano, which distracted him and almost hit the faceplant DDT for the win. That was a great heel tactic by throwing the DIY shirt at Gargano, wasn't it?
Can I just? Yeah, it worked. It kept Gargano strong coming out of the match. It didn't hurt him to lose. One thing I will say, and this is me nitpicking on NXT right now, because I feel like at this point, the only complaints you can give about NXT at this point is nitpicking. Mm-hmm. I think too many people have some resemblance of a DDT for their finisher.
Bobby Roode.
In NXT right now.
Bobby
Almost
Roode,
Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre. It's just like, all right, guys, look, I love the DDT, Jake the Snake, baby. You know, it was one of my favorite finishers as a kid. But I just feel there's too many variations of the DDT used as finishers in NXT right now. I'd like that kind of be switched up a little bit.
Yeah, but
I said, that's just me nitpicking on pretty much a perfect show. So that's more like a speaking on the brand as a whole more so than anything else.
But Drew could keep the Future Shock DDT, and Bobby could keep the Glorious DDT, because those are both awesome DDTs. And the Future Shock, it used to kind of be a DDT for Drew, but now they kind of transitioned to the Claymore, and I like that they called it the Claymore. They didn't come up with another name for it. Kind of much like Roddy's Sick Kick. I think those are two iconic moves of those two guys, and I'm glad that Morrow and Triple H and NXT are keeping those names, because I like the Claymore Kick and I like the Sick Kick. Those are great names for those maneuvers, as I use a Vince term there. What a maneuver! Matt, let's play Percent Chance real quick as we see Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle in a skybox at Barclays scouting talent. What's the percent chance we're getting some call-ups on Monday and Tuesday?
I don't know.
There's gotta be some debuts on each show this week. Why else would they have shown the GMs? I think we're gonna see Asuka. I think we're gonna see maybe Ember Moon, maybe Bobby Roode, especially after the ending of tonight's NXT Takeover. I think we'll see Roode on SmackDown and Asuka on Raw, and it may see Ember Moon on SmackDown too. I think they'll split up Moon and Asuka, but I think they showed those guys up in the skybox for a reason. Matt, you agree?
I mean, they certainly teased it, but I don't know if they're really going to do that right now. I guess only time will tell. I don't know. There's
also rumors of another superstar shakeup too, so not sure how concrete those rumors are.
I just know that all I know is that it's happening sometime after SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. There's no specific time. It's sometime. I heard early fall.
Yeah.
For that, but who knows?
As Matt said over the past couple of weeks, this particular takeover has been kind of like a homecoming, and we saw that with the pre-show with past NXT greats that are currently on the main roster, and we see it now for the tag team championships, where former NXT tag team champion and former color commentator for NXT Corey Graves comes out. Great to hear Corey Graves' music once again. And so Corey Graves comes out to join and make it a four-man booth for the Tag Team Championships. AOP and Sanity. Sanity comes out first. AOP, they're looking like heroes in a half shell, aren't they, Matt? That was some sweet gear, though.
It was interesting for sure.
TMNT jokes aside, that was some sweet gear. I loved it. Sanity starts out with Alexander Wolf in the ring, and so Wolf and Akam start the match up, and Sanity had a little swerve for you. Killian Dane is on the outside of the holding the tag rope, but all of a sudden Eric Young climbs under the ring, comes out the other side, and gets a hot tag. Hey, the announcer said it. Dane was never in the match, so this was legal. EY comes in and starts going to town on Akam and Razor. EY with a crazy tope suicida. Good stuff there. And then Alexander Wolf follows it up with a great pescado. And then Nikki Cross comes into the ring. Paul Ellering steps in. I thought, oh God, Nikki Cross is going to kill Paul. No, they kind of did a 180 and had the ref dealing with Paul. So Nikki Cross gets up to the top rope for a splash. But Akam caught her. And then Killian Dane does a flying crossbody onto them both and sends them through a table. How badass was that spot, Matt?
It was pretty fucking sick, and I couldn't believe Nikki Cross is crazy enough to take it. Because she was pretty much sandwiched.
She was in between
two monsters.
She was in between a table. She was in between a lot of humanity there, wasn't she?
Most certainly.
Oh my God! Right after that, Alexander Wolf gets the hot tag. EY goes up, and they kind of do a rendition of the neck breaker with the help of Alexander, because obviously, I mean, if EY could pull off that neck breaker on one of the AOP members, I would be thoroughly impressed, but I don't know if he's able to do that. So the tag, the double team neck breaker was just great enough for their finisher, because Sanity is your new NXT Tag Team Champions. AOP's reign, undefeated streak over. Matt, what did you think of the tag match?
I thought Wolf had a breakout performance tonight that I was not expecting.
Yes.
I thought he shined a lot brighter than he would have. I questioned the decision to have him in the match over Killian Dane. He certainly proved why he was in that match tonight. And I think he was very impressive. I was shocked at the title change. I did not expect it to happen, but it was awesome, and it just continued to have a great show.
I mean, not only the pescado from Alexander Wolf, but he had a sweet Frankensteiner off the turnbuckle too in that match. He had he did a great job there. And I said it on Twitter before the match. I just love the mannerisms and craziness of Alexander Wolf. He reminds me of those crazy guys from Smokin' Aces. If you've ever seen that movie, you'll probably get the reference. But in the ring, Alexander showed up to play tonight, and that was great. And good to see EY back in the ring, of course. After the passing of his mother, he had been away for a while, returned to the latest set of tapings, and made his in-ring return tonight. So good stuff from Sanity. I've been on these guys since day one. A great group. They deserved gold, and now they've got gold. I fully assume they'll do the Freebird thing with them. Shit, they may even throw Nikki Cross in there sometime. Just crazy. They're so crazy. They may even put her in a tag match. So good stuff from those guys. But we're not through with the tag division yet, are we, Matt?
Most certainly not.
A couple of guys came out and attacked the brand new tag team champions, and those two guys have a past together, don't they, Matt?
Why are you talking to me like I'm an idiot and our fans are idiots? We all know it's fucking Red Dragon from Ring of Honor, and everybody knows I'm not the world's biggest fan of Bobby Fish, but when he's with Kyle O'Reilly, I tolerate him. So welcome Red Dragon to NXT. I mean, they did not refer to them as Red Dragon, and I don't know if they're going to be referred to that as that name in NXT or not, but it's Red Dragon until we hear differently.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they can be called that or not, but yeah, what a unexpected twist there at the end of the tag team title match with the Fish and O'Reilly on the attack, and oh, lo and behold, we didn't expect them to come back later, too, huh?
Yeah. Man.
They go around ringside. They show Neville sitting at the ringside. And
he looks so happy to be there.
Yeah. Somebody pissed in his Cheerios. Then they show Shinsuke and Kalisto. That was kind of fun. Kalisto mocking Shinsuke, and then Shinsuke doing the lucha. So that was pretty fun to see those guys.
They were just having fun.
Yeah, that was great.
That's all that was. They were just having fun.
That was great, man. I loved it. Before we get to match number 3, Matt, let's pop over to the 5 count. We got a real interesting 5 count for you today. 5 current WWE superstars who haven't been a world champion in the WWE but should be by now. And so this is strictly world champion within WWE, either the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship, the Heavyweight Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, all iterations. These 5 guys should be, but they are not yet. Matt, who's your number 5?
I actually don't have these guys in any particular order.
Oh, I did put mine in order, but
I do not have these guys in order. I just did a top 5. I felt like it would be kind of disrespectful to put any of these guys ahead of anybody else. So I didn't want to place them in a 5. I've got 5 guys, but they are in no particular order. We will start with Kofi Kingston. This man was on the cusp of a breaking out in the main event years ago. And then he kind of got buried in the Randy Orton flood. He's found new life with the New Day, and I'm not saying Kofi's not doing great things right now, but I do feel like they dropped the ball with Kofi. That he easily could have been like a world heavyweight champion or like a universal champion or something like that by now. I think Kofi could have had that title already. That's just my opinion.
Matt, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh.
Is Kofi your number 5?
My number 5, I did cheat a little bit, but my number 5 is 2 guys, Kofi Kingston and Big E.
Well, that's not fair.
Well,
Big E's on my list.
They're in the New Day, so
I see. That's cheap. They're both on my list. I had to boot somebody out of this list for both of those guys. You cheating bastard.
I wasn't going to boot any of the other 4 guys off my list, so Big E and Kofi
I'm very
Kingston,
interested in who your other 4 are then.
Big E and Kofi Kingston tied for number 5. As Matt said, Kofi Kingston was getting pushed to that top level in the Randy Orton feud, but then never kind of happened from there. Ever since the New Day lost the tag team titles after breaking the records, I thought maybe this would be kind of the time to get the New Day in the main event in the singles picture with Big E, and then maybe they could focus Kofi and Xavier Woods on the tag scene, and obviously still be a unit and be able to run the tag scene and the main event scene. So I think Big E and Kofi Kingston both are deserving world champions, but they just haven't been quite yet. Matt, what's your next guy?
Next guy on the list is Sami Zayn. Former NXT champion. He's held championships pretty much everywhere he's been under many different names. I feel like this guy's been very much underutilized since coming up to the main roster. Yet to win a singles title, let alone a world title. But the underdog from the underground, the gimmick that he ran in NXT, is the perfect storyline for, overcoming the odds and becoming world champion. I'm not saying Sami Zayn needs to have like a 6-month title reign, but I definitely feel like Sami Zayn should have been a world champion in some form by now. And I really don't think the guy has been used right by WWE since he's been on the main roster.
Oddly enough, I don't think he's ever been a world champion. I think his highest individual accomplishments are television champion on Ring of Honor and PWG champion.
Well, NXT could be counted as a world championship.
You counting that as a world title now?
Why the hell wouldn't you, dude? It's a world recognized brand.
True.
I definitely consider the NXT championship to be a world championship. It's not the WWE. It's not a WWE world title.
No,
because I know they want to put WWE tagline in their NXT, but to me NXT is its own brand, and it's their own championship. Like I don't count to me the NXT World Championship and the WWE World Championship are two completely different things.
And stay out of NXT events.
Oh my God.
My number 4 is Rusev Crush. This guy has everything. He's hilarious at times. He can be a great heel. He's amazing in the ring, an amazing athlete. He has the entire package to be a world champion, but for whatever reason, Vince just has not put him in that level yet. I hope they got it soon.
They had a chance to, and then they fed him to Cena.
Yep. So we'll see what happens with Orton tomorrow. I think he's going to win.
I think he beats Orton tomorrow.
I do too. So we'll see if he kind of goes on a streak like Bray Wyatt has of late. So we'll see there. But my number 4 is Rusev.
Bray Wyatt streak ends tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right there. What's your next guy, Matt?
Rusev.
Yeah.
So nothing more needs to be said than what you already said.
That's all I got to say about that. My number 3 is Cesaro. How many match of the year candidates does this guy have to have before they push him into the singles? Now, granted, today I'm happy where Cesaro is because I absolutely love how him and Sheamus have gelled as a tag team. They have gelled into a unit that is surprising me. I did not expect these guys to be this well oiled of a machine as a tag team, and I don't think the WWE expected it either. And that's why once they saw how well they were working together, they put the tag team titles on them a second time. But Cesaro on his own, Sheamus has been a world champion. I think Cesaro should be as well. It'd be very interesting once they lose the titles. It'd be very interesting if they do put those guys kind of in the main event scene and Sheamus helps Cesaro win a title eventually. I don't know if that's feasible or not, but I believe Cesaro should be a world champion in the WWE. Matt, who's your next guy?
My final guys are Cesaro and Big E.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah. So we're pretty much on the same page. I have no idea who your number 1 guy is.
You're going to be surprised.
Unless it's the guy that I booted off my list.
I think you might have overlooked him. I don't think you booted him. I think you overlooked him. My number 2 is Sami Zayn. For much like the reasons that you said. I mean, this guy is the ultimate story of an underdog chasing the title, a babyface, white meat babyface chasing the title. So a built-in story that could be an amazing WrestleMania moment one day is Sami Zayn winning the title against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. That would be a moment in WrestleMania history. It just hasn't happened yet, obviously. But Matt, number 1.
I'm very interested in.
Who'd you boot first?
I booted Braun Strowman.
Okay.
I just felt like out of the other 5 guys, I didn't feel he hasn't been. I felt like he hadn't been on the main roster long enough.
Yeah, not enough tenure.
It's the same reason why Nakamura and Samoa Joe aren't on my list.
Exactly.
And by tomorrow, they might be checked off anyway. God willing, hopefully, crossing fingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came down my final 5. Like I was polling between Kofi and Strowman, and I ended up going with Kofi.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really not sure who your 5th person is. If it's not Braun, like I'm at a loss of who your 5th guy is.
Yeah, I agree fully with Joe and Nakamura on tenure, and Braun kind of falls into that tenure as well. And shit, Braun's going to be a world champion by within the next year too. So
yeah, and Braun's been there longer than Nakamura and Joe. So that's why he was under consideration for my list to begin with.
Matt, my number 1, I got one word for you to describe my number 1. WWE Superstar has not been a world champion in the WWE, but should be by now. Wonderful, yeah. Matt Hardy.
I didn't overlook him. He was never utilized as a great singles guy in WWE. To me, like they have a chance to do it now. Mm-hmm. But V1 and crazy I want to kill my brother gimmick, they weren't main event world title pictures for him at that point. If they let him run with the broken / Woken gimmick or whatever in a singles role, yeah, I could absolutely see him becoming world champion. But that's why he's not on my list.
Yeah. Well, I think V1 was was close. I agree with you at some point, but I think it was close. They were scratching the surface. They were getting there. They just didn't quite get there. Obviously, the broken gimmick is gonna probably make him a world champion someday. But I still think he should be a world champion though. His brothers had 3 runs. I think Matt falls into the category for me there.
I respect it, and but yeah, I'm just stating my case as to why I didn't.
Understandable.
I didn't feel that to put him on there.
We'll be in the same jovial mood 24 hours from now if 2 guys are crossed off that list, right? Joe and Nakamura. So
that would be awesome. I just don't believe it's going to happen. I think one of them might happen, but I still feel like Brock's walking out with the title tomorrow, and I want to be wrong so bad, but I just don't think I am.
Just the fact that this switched to a 4-way, Joe is reinserted back in. I just got this feeling, man. And it's not hope either. It's a feeling that that's the direction they're going to go.
I hope you're right, dude. I want you to be right so bad.
Yeah, I
really want to be wrong.
This isn't me wishing, hoping, and praying. This is me truly believing it, and that's why I predicted Joe to win. And I can see Nakamura. I mean, the dude is a superstar. So,
I feel Nakamura has a better chance to win the title tomorrow than Brock does to lose it.
I agree. And Vince realizes he's a superstar, and he's printing money for the WWE right now. So I think it's a very good chance. I mean, Jinder had a good run with the title, nice lengthy run. It wasn't a fluke run. It was an entertaining run. This just feels like a good time to end that run. So we'll see in 24 hours once we hit that record button once more. Let's go back to NXT TakeOver. And how about this? Good old JR comes out to guest commentate Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. Matt, what was going through your mind at the prospects of Mauro Ranallo and Jim Ross calling a match together?
I thought it was cool as shit.
Oh my god!
I very much enjoyed it.
Hideo Itami comes out all pissed off. Him and Neville join the Someone Pissed at My Cheerios Club. Aleister Black makes his entrance with the help of the Code Orange Band, as well as Incendiary, which is the New York punk band that does Black's theme. So Code Orange and the lead singer of Incendiary combined for a live entrance where Aleister Black rises from the dead and comes through the band. Matt, I thought that was a real cool entrance. I mean, I thought there was going to be some kind of Finn Balor-like extravagant entrance, but no, they kind of went with a different twist on his usual entrance, and I thought it was cool. You?
Yeah, no, I digged it. Not a lot of wrestlers get the band entrance. So that to make the choice for him to get the band entrance, shows they got a lot of faith in him. They're definitely putting the machine behind him, and with good reason. The dude's fucking awesome. So
yeah, I was just going to ask you, does this kind of put it in your mind that they're behind this guy hugely when he gets a band entrance?
Yeah, I would certainly think so. I can't think of anybody that the machine wasn't firmly behind that's ever gotten a band entrance before.
Yeah. Obviously, one of my favorite band entrances ever is Motorhead, baby.
Yeah, you got Motorhead for Triple H. You've had Limp Bizkit for The Undertaker. Stuff like that. You mean like the main eventers get the band entrances.
The DX band.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you're proving my point.
Yep.
It's just, it's a big thing for him to get that, in my opinion.
I'm a huge Motorhead fan, so to see Lemmy perform
Rey Mysterio had POD at a WrestleMania, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's all the main eventers, dude. Your main event, they definitely put their foot behind Aleister Black tonight and said he's our guy of the future by what they did.
If you could say one word and one word only for Black and Itami, what would you say?
Hard hitting.
My God, yeah.
Can it be one word?
Yeah, it's hyphenated.
With like a hyphen in there, hard hitting.
Yeah, that's, if you type in hard hyphenate hitting in Word, the word count's going to say 1. So you're right on with that. I mean, Black's face kind of said that, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh my Lord!
There's little maybe the one word I can use is stiff.
Stiff's a good one. And I'm sure both guys had an understanding that it was going to be stiff. So,
yeah. Oh, I know.
I'm sure they hugged it out at the end backstage because, man, they put on I thought this was going to be the show stealer. There wasn't really a show stealer. It was just perfection.
I just thought the whole night was so damn good. I would hate to try to pick one match out of the 5 as being like the best match because all the matches were just so great tonight. That I loved everything. So
yeah, I fully agree. I predicted this one to be a show stealer, but yeah, I mean it was just the whole night was a show stealer. And SummerSlam, you got some work to do, don't you?
They're fucked, dude.
Oh man, they're fucked just for the sole fact that it's a 6-hour show. You know.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the length of that show tomorrow. Dude, I'm telling you right now.
There's going to be a turd in there.
If there were no matches on the pre-show tomorrow, I wouldn't even be watching it. I would just turn it on at like 6:45, and I would just watch the pay-per-view proper. There's no way I would watch the pre-show if there weren't matches on it tomorrow.
I mean, because we fully well know Big Show and Big Cass is not going to be a technical masterpiece. It's going to be all centered around Big Show not being able to use his KO hand. So it's going to be just an angle match, you know. Not a Kurt Angle match, an angle match. You know, and your pre-show is full of retained title matches and a thrown-together 6-man, which basically is a glorified Raw, you know. But it's going to be great to see. It's going to be great to see the Hardys get a pop at Barclays. It's going to be sad to see Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger not get a pop unless they throw that as a tag team impromptu before the main event. I could maybe see them.
I don't know, dude. The card's so full as it is.
I know.
It's so full.
They've snuck in matches before, though, Matt. So
I don't want them to. Like, it's already too much.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like between the pre-show and SummerSlam, it's just there's way too much going on. Don't oversaturate it any more than you already have. I really don't. I really hope they don't do that.
Dillinger deserves to be there, though, man, at SummerSlam. So does Sammy.
You know what's really annoying is that Enzo and the Big Show cast match is on the main card.
Yeah.
And 2 title matches are on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, why are New Day and the Usos on the pre-show and Big Show and Cass on the main card? Like, are you kidding me?
Hardys and the Miz
the Hardys
on the pre-show?
They're on the pre-show because it was a thrown-together match. You know, that was a last-minute thrown-together match, and like, yeah, we'll throw it on the pre-show. You know, but look, 3 champions are on the pre-show because Miz is the Intercontinental fucking champion.
Yeah. Well,
so every single match on the pre-show involves a champion, and fucking Big Show and Casket on the main show.
Well, shit.
Like, what the hell?
Kickoff show's 2 hours. Fucking put Zayn and Dillinger in a tag match on the pre-show. Then, fuck, it's 2 hours.
No, you gotta let the jabronis talk their heads off about the show for 2 hours.
Well, there is 25 matches that they have to break down. So,
oh boy.
All right, let's get back to business. Aleister Black, Hideo Itami. Didn't take long for Black to get bloodied, and kicks, punches, strikes, knees, dives. This match had it all, and it all hurt. It hurt bad. Itami hit a super Falcon arrow at the end of the match that was just fucking amazing for a near fall. Then they go into kick punch mode where like they just started throwing just haymakers at each other left and right, and the Brooklyn crowd ate it all up. Black's jumping knee is probably the second most impressive knee in terms of the wrestler being able to produce a sound with it. My number one guy is Sami Callihan or Jeremiah Crane, I forgot his NXT name, but
Solomon Crow.
Solomon Crow. He could put a pop on his knee strikes. Aleister Black can do the same. All of a sudden, just out of nowhere, Tommy misses a clothesline and Black nails the Black Mass, and it's good night. It's good night of Tommy. Not even a GTS landed for the Brooklyn crowd to pop at, as Aleister Black continues his dominance so far in NXT. Matt, what were your thoughts on Black and Tommy?
Dude, like hard hitting stiff. It was just a badass match. You know what? As much as I talk about the overuse of the DDT in NXT, I love Black Mass as a finisher.
Oh yeah.
Because it stands out. Like legitimately,
it's devastating.
It's a UFC like maneuver. Like if someone gets hit with the roundhouse kick in the octagon, they're going lights out. It's
like a flash KO.
Yeah, exactly. So like the fact that they can utilize that in professional wrestling, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Match number 4 of the evening, NXT Women's Championship, Asuka versus Ember Moon. Ember comes out in the match on fire and just is wailing away at Asuka, basically to the point where Asuka's discombobulated, not knowing what's going on. Ember trying to end it early, but once the action went to the outside, that's where Asuka was able to get an advantage, ramming the previously injured shoulder of Ember Moon into the steel steps. A sick suplex. The sound it made was so sick when Asuka put the suplex on Ember Moon on the ramp there. Then the end of the match, man. Oh my God, it was heart pounding. It was amazing as Ember hits the Eclipse and Asuka kicks out. Is that the first person to ever kick out of the Eclipse, Matt?
Yes.
Ember goes up to the top again. Asuka stands behind the referee like she kind of did at Orlando. Ember with a crossbody. Asuka rolls through and grabs the tights, but the ref stops the count, noticing that she's grabbing the tights. Asuka gets hit with a super kick and is not moving, but she was playing possum and puts on the Asuka lock. Ember tries to get out, lean back, try to pin her. No luck. Asuka locks it in once again, and Ember is in the center of the ring and has nothing to do but tap out. Asuka is still your champion at well over 500 days now. This was probably one of the best NXT matches of the year, I thought, Matt. The ending was just phenomenal. These ladies came to play. I think this is going to go up there on the mantle for a match of the year candidate. Matt, what were your thoughts on the ladies?
Yeah, the match was awesome. I thought it was easily Ember's best showing in NXT to date.
Was that who you were referencing as winning the most by losing?
Yes. I felt the reaction she got post match and the effort that she put on in the match. I thought she gained more by losing this match than she would have by winning, because I think the crowd was ready to turn on her and be like, yeah, you know what, I don't really think you were the one that deserved to beat Asuka. And the fact that she didn't, but she had, like I said, I feel like she had her best match that she's had since she's been in NXT. I feel like she won tonight by losing, if that makes sense. And I feel like the future for her in NXT, or hell, even on the main roster, is very bright.
And then we get our main event. This is what you call a money main event. Before they do that, though, they show Kevin Owens in the crowd and Samoa Joe as well, and no Adam Cole to be found, huh, Matt?
Once he wasn't in the crowd, I was just like, maybe they're gonna debut him in Full Sail. Kind of feels like a wasted opportunity. But I'm not gonna be the one to question Triple H, because more often than not, you've seen in NXT that the dude knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So,
man, Triple H. We're like, this would have been a cool moment, man. Adam Cole throws up the hands. Brooklyn yells, "Adam Cole, baby!" This would be a great fucking moment. Triple H is like, yeah, pal, I got another great moment for you instead. Boy, before we get to that point, though, some cool entrances from Rude and McIntyre. McIntyre has the NYPD bagpipe and drum line come out and bring him to the ring. I thought that was sweet. I love the new logo for Drew McIntyre, and it's on a T-shirt. I think I want to get that T-shirt. Drew McIntyre has just transformed himself into a superstar, and it just keeps getting better and better as the days go on. That foundation was built in TNA, and it just continues to grow in his time in NXT, and I'm so proud that Drew McIntyre has gotten the redemption and is now NXT champion, Matt.
It was great. I felt like he was going to win going in. When he got the bagpipe entrance, I felt like it was a lock he was going to win.
Yeah.
It was just it was a great match. They almost mimicked the John Cena Nakamura finish from SmackDown a few weeks ago.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, with Cena, I got to get this. I got to get this branching AA
period
in here, and it cost him, and he ended up beating a finisher because of it. And it was almost the same. It was almost the same type of finish in the main event tonight, but it worked. Rude went one move too many, and it cost him. And Rude didn't look bad in losing.
No,
Rude looked like a beast. He got a nice bruise on his thigh from that rough landing on the LED board.
Yeah.
And on the side of the apron from earlier in the match. And it was great. McIntyre won the title, and they definitely made everybody that's Ring of Honor fans step up and take notice of the new stable and Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole. And if you're strictly a WWE fan and you don't know who these guys are, you will. I encourage you to, if you want to learn more about them, check out, go into YouTube, type in their names, watch some of their stuff. If you haven't seen Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish's matches with Aleister Black on NXT yet, go back on the WWE Network and watch those. These guys are going to be major players for NXT in the months and years to come. So if you don't know them now, you'll know them soon enough.
Yeah, watch Kyle O'Reilly against Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor Championship at Final Battle 2016 this past December. That was an amazing match, an amazing moment for Kyle O'Reilly to become a world champion for the first time. Just look up anything with Red Dragon. They were the measuring stick in the tag team division for Ring of Honor. And oddly enough, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly were broke in together as Future Shock.
Yeah, Ultra Liger made a funny joke on Twitter just a few minutes ago.
Yeah?
And said, interesting that the man who uses the Future Shock DDT got beat down by Future Shock Cole and O'Reilly. So I thought it was funny, you know.
And Rude, he got the piano entrance again, but I loved the smoke. It looked like he was on clouds. Yeah, I thought that was a great effect.
Is it bad? Like when he was doing the spin and he went around for it the second time, part of me was wondering if Roddy was going to jump him from behind.
Yes, I thought that too.
And they were just going to be like, "What the hell's going on? All this chaos!"
And Regal comes out, makes it a triple threat.
Yeah, Like, yeah, I don't know. Just the thought crossed my mind when he went for the second spin. I was like, wonder when he has his back turned if Roddy's going to jump him. So, but yeah, it didn't happen.
So as Matt said at the end of the match, Rude looks to hit a third glorious DDT, but McIntyre rolls through it, hits a headbutt, and then the Claymore. I believe the second or third time he landed the Claymore.
I think it was the second time.
Yeah, the first time Rude had rolled or got a foot on the ropes, and 1, 2, 3, Drew McIntyre, your new champion of NXT. He celebrates in the ring, and all of a sudden, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly show up on the apron. The crowd is going fucking nuts, and that only means one thing: somebody was coming through the crowd, and it was Adam Cole. Baby. Hits a super kick. He didn't do his Adam Cole, baby. He just stood there, looking at the title and looking at the fallen Drew McIntyre as, woo! We thought we were done when McIntyre was celebrating, weren't we?
Honestly, I knew we weren't done because some live tweets from the arena were coming through my timeline. It became very clear at that point that the quote-unquote live feed was about 30 seconds behind from what I was watching. And so I knew Adam Cole was about to debut. So, I mean, that was kind of cool. But, yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah, that aside, I mean, Morrow was playing it off like it was over, and then all of a sudden, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Oh, so where do we go from here? Holy shit. I don't know. Let's start at the top of the card, Matt. Andrade Cien Almas. Who do you think, obviously, he's found something with the Zelina Vega. He's on the upswing. Who do you think would be a good challenger for Almas to continue that upswing?
I think the feud with Gargano isn't over.
Why do you say that?
Because it just began.
Because of the cheating?
And it's their first ever match. They didn't really have any type of rivalry going into this. He cheated to win. I feel the Gargano Almas rivalry has just begun.
The slap in the face with the DIY shirt?
Yeah, I think their feud is far from over.
Going to the tag division is.
I think we already know the direction.
Is Red Dragon's attack telling you that Authors of Pain are getting called up?
You can certainly say that about Bobby Roode and the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, I was getting there too.
By implementing immediate new threats to the newly crowned champions. It excuses both the Authors of Pain and Rude to go right to the main roster without having to get their rematch. So,
do you resume Atami and Ono?
I would.
Or
I don't think that's done yet.
Or how do you think? What do you think about this angle of booking? Atami got some sense knocked into him from the Black Mass kick. He apologizes to Ono. They become a tag team.
No.
Okay. You'd rather see them feud instead of tagging?
The heel Atami works right now. I would not be giving up on heel Atami at the moment.
It sucks because I liked face Atami when he came back. He just had it, but yeah, heel Atami's got it too. So, who would you feed to Aleister Black next?
I don't know. Maybe he rises up against the ROH stable.
That would be something.
He already fought. He already fought O'Reilly and Fish.
That's a good point. Maybe
he steps up to help Drew out.
That would be amazing. That's a good booking. Let me speed dial Triple H real quick and say, hey, Mr. Matt Black here at Raw Showtime. He's got something for you here. Hey, do this, please. Thank you.
I'm sure he's already got a great idea in mind. I got faith in the game.
Oh yeah, we all have faith in the game, baby. Do you call up both Asuka and Ember Moon and put them on separate brands with this performance?
No.
Okay. Do you call up Asuka and have her leave NXT undefeated?
No.
Who defeats Asuka for the title?
I don't know.
Does anybody defeat Asuka? Do you keep her undefeated?
Maybe the winner of the Mae Young Classic beats Asuka.
Okay. Would that be a believable person to... Okay, I'm just going to ask you would that be a believable champion to beat Asuka?
I know who's in the finals, and I think either one of them could be believable to defeat Asuka.
Okay.
Because they've already been booked like $1 million in this tournament. So,
and we just said it with the tag match and with the NXT Championship, Bobby Roode, my gut is he heads to SmackDown. And it'll be glorious. It's not just my gut that thinks he's at SmackDown. My heart hopes he goes to SmackDown, too.
I'm iffy about putting him on the same brand as Nakamura.
You can keep them apart for quite a while, though.
Maybe. I don't know.
Drew McIntyre and Adam Cole, baby. That sounds like a good TakeOver main event, don't it?
It certainly seems like that's in the cards.
Matt, are you ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? Are you ready for some stories?
I don't know if you're going to get story time with Adam Cole, because we didn't even get the Adam Cole baby stance. I mean, we might be getting a different, iteration of Adam Cole this time out. We're not going to know until we know.
And you know what?
So,
that won't be a bad thing either. If we do get somebody a different iteration of Adam Cole. Let's wrap up part one with poll. Thank you for taking the time to vote on our poll at LITMC Podcast after an amazing NXT Takeover and an NXT Championship match. After an amazing night overall, we asked you to rate the night, and 74% said A. 3/4 of the audience. Not a single soul clicked on the DRF. 10% said C, 16% said B. So Matt,
sometimes somebody votes on the lowest poll just to be a dick.
Yeah.
So the fact that nobody even chose to do that they felt the show was that good that they couldn't even, smart-assingly give it the lowest score, that's an impressive feat in itself.
It is.
I guarantee you there's going to be some DRS for SummerSlam tomorrow.
Oh, you think?
I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
So that's going to end our first segment. We'll do final thoughts after tomorrow because hey, we'll have something to contrast a great night tonight, won't we, Matt? Yeah. With that sigh, that ends part one, and we'll transition right into SummerSlam. Baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Trying something different, as you could tell. We decided to record after TakeOver, and now we are at you live right after SummerSlam. It was a long day. It was I don't know, man. Matt, I just think it's what you've been saying. They're shitting on the pay-per-views and wowing us on Raw and SmackDown. We're probably going to get a good Raw and SmackDown the next 2 days, but tonight's SummerSlam was pretty lackluster overall, don't you think?
To me, the pay-per-view was a tale of two halves. Everything from the start of the main show up until Sasha and Bliss started, I thought the pay-per-view was just awful. I did not like the show at all. I was just I was longing for the days of, I was just like, man, I wonder if I should just shut this off and watch TakeOver again. The thought legitimately crossed my mind about, just turning it off and watching something else that I enjoyed. But, from Bliss and Sasha on, I really did enjoy the show from that match till the end. I didn't like the winners of the two main events, but I liked both matches, so that kind of makes up for it a little bit. It is what it is. I think it was overall better than last year's SummerSlam, but truthfully, that's not saying much because last year's SummerSlam was the drizzling shits.
Yeah,
so,
it did pick up towards the end, and maybe I was just starting to get burnt out because I actually passed out in the middle of SummerSlam. Thanks to that glorious first hour of booking. And by glorious, I do not mean glorious at all. So I missed a little bit, but not much. It wasn't a long nap, thankfully. I woke up for the Demon, so that was good. I missed the end of the Bliss and Sasha match, but apparently that must have been the match to turn things around, huh?
I thought it did. I thought it turned the show around. I thought they had a really good match. I would suggest you going back and watching it.
Yep.
at some point.
Yeah,
I felt that turned the show around.
I rewatched it through the storytelling of GIFs. That was about it. I'll definitely go back and take a look at it though. And then of course the Demon's entrance. But first, let's talk about some fallout from last night. First off, WWE.com had a backstage video of one of Bobby Roode's employees or whatever. Bobby basically telling him to get his shit so he can get the hell out of Brooklyn. And they try to get an interview with him, and he's yelling at the interviewer, telling him to turn off the camera, and standing in the doorway, none other than Roderick Strong to blow him a kiss. That was a pretty cool moment, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and it also says, I think Bobby Roode is on borrowed time on the NXT brand right now.
Yeah. Roddy might be sending him out the door.
Yep, I really think he is.
They
also, after the show went off the air, they answered the Adam Cole Bebe question.
Yep.
Because he did it for the live crowd after the show went off the air. So that's definitely something that's going to stick. Don't know about story time, but Adam Cole Bebe isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, and after hearing the Brooklyn crowd chanting along, that was a rather loud chant too, along with Adam Cole. So that was a pretty cool moment. Very cool moment. I mean, we were electrified 24 hours ago recording after Takeover.
Oh, it was so good.
And
it was so good.
I'm not electrified right now, but I am happy with. I thought Wyatt and Balor worked their ass off. I thought it was a tale of two halves. I thought the tag match was awesome. I knew it was going to be awesome. Shinsuke and Jinder. I mean, probably Jinder's best match in the WWE to this point. And
I would definitely say that it was definitely better than his matches with Orton. And
Fatal 4-Way, man, that bitch was on fire from the get-go. So, yeah, I said SummerSlam was, I forgot the word I said about 5 minutes ago, disaster or lackluster, but, yeah, I mean, overall, the second half of the card was good. You know, I would have liked to see Nakamura and Joe be champion or one or the other, and neither happened. But Jinder...
I would have been much more accepting of Lesnar retaining had they swapped the world title and let Nakamura beat Jinder.
Yeah, and I don't think Jinder and Nakamura are exactly done either. I have a feeling. But
well, at the same token, it's the conspiracy theorist in me that feels Nakamura dropping Cena on his neck cost him the title tonight. And it's hard for me not to go there.
So you're seeing the black helicopters at JBLC's.
Well, I can't help it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they rematch at Hell in a Cell, and they keep the Singh brothers out, because it's a lot harder for them to get in that than it is the Punjabi prison. You know, they can come out with Mahal, and then they're stuck on the outside. You know, they can do that. Maybe Nakamura wins the title there.
Put him in a shark cage.
Oh God! Don't get me, dude. I'm not even talking about that match. So when we get to it, if you want to talk about it, fine. I'm not saying a damn word. I saw maybe like a minute of it, and it was more than enough that I needed to see. Well, so
I want you to talk about it. It doesn't have to be all cherries and rainbows.
I'm not going to talk about it, pal.
So the pre-show, about half an hour into the pre-show, they decided to have the six-man tag match, and there's nobody in the frickin' building.
Yep.
I don't know if that's WWE's fault, Barclay's fault.
I'd have to say it was Barclays. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I mean, they had the same problems at WrestleMania in Dallas. You know, people taking forever to get in there. So yeah, I would have to say it was on Barclays, but I mean, I don't know that for a fact. Maybe something will come out in the next day or two to explain, you know, what the hell happened there.
So Jason Jordan, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy took on Miz and the Miz Taraj in an empty arena match, basically. with the bad guys getting the win there. Miz hitting the skull-crushing finale on Jordan to end that. It's kind of funny. Miz was talking shit into a camera or something, and it was actually just the social media guy because somebody else took another picture of that angle, and there was nobody sitting behind where the social media guy was. It was like just empty rows of chairs. It was crazy. So yeah, unfortunately, nobody saw the Hardys. So I'm sure there were probably a lot of people pissed that they didn't get to see the Hardys that were in attendance for SummerSlam. So kind of unfortunate there. And even before the top of the hour, they start the Cruiserweight Championship with Akira Tozawa and Neville. Again, hardly anybody in the building, but as the match went on, it did fill up a little bit. And props to those that were there. I mean, Matt, you still heard delete chants for Matt Hardy, so, props to those that were in the arena. But still, I mean, an hour till main show time, and there's still hardly anybody in the building. So, but what do you think of the title change already for the Cruiserweight division?
What was the point?
Yeah, on Monday.
Well, what was the point of Monday?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I felt logic dictated. Well, it's on the pre-show. We don't want to do a title change on the pre-show, so we're gonna do it on Raw so more people see it. And Tozawa can just retain on Sunday.
Yeah.
And instead they pull that garbage. And I don't know, dude. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking sometimes with this company. I really don't.
So both of those matches got about 11 and a half minutes, some good, decent time to get their work in, but just nobody in the arena. Except for about the end of the Cruiserweight title match, there were a good amount of people in there. So what might have been one of the matches of the night happened on the pre-show, Matt, with the Usos and the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They went about 20 minutes, and goddamn, that was a phenomenal match, wasn't it?
Liked the match, hated the finish. I can't stand the Usos, dude.
Yeah.
Like they're so just. It's a bland act that they insist on copying off of every other tag team on the independents. And I can't stand the Usos. Like, New Day easily should have retained. And, like, unless this is leading to the Fashion Police going to get the tag titles off the Usos, this was garbage.
Yeah, it was an amazing match, though.
Oh, no, the match was great. The finish sucked ass.
The near falls, I mean, the Midnight Hour, the splashes, there were so many moments where you thought the match was over, and they kept either kicking out or having a near fall. I thought Xavier Woods, once again, showing he's got a lot of worth in the company as a wrestler. Somebody they didn't use early on as much in the New Day's run. He's been doing a phenomenal job. And I thought all four guys involved were put together a top-notch show for the kids on the pre-show. And maybe Vince was just trying to outsmart the marks and saying, you say there's no title changes on the pre-shows, pal. Well, here you go. There's two of them right there.
Title changes have happened on pre-shows before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out of the norm for it to happen. I just figured that was the logic of why they changed the title on Monday.
Yeah.
So more people would see it, and they didn't have to worry about less eyeballs on it on the pre-show on Sunday. So.
You don't get too many "This is awesome" chants for a pre-show match, though, and so the tag match did happen to get that, and all three heels won all three pre-show matches as well. So very good match with those guys, and then all of a sudden we had a KFC commercial, which I thought was kind of funny. Kind of funny at some parts, kind of dumb on others, and then HBK's music hits, and he's dressed as Colonel Sanders, and I'm like, what the fuck, Matt?
No words.
That was just weird. John Cena, Baron Corbin kick off the main show of SummerSlam. Matt and I talked about this a little bit on Twitter. This was basically Creative's fault, but Matt, I didn't see any fire, anger, or anything out of the ordinary from Corbin that should have been there after he's facing a guy that cost him his title shot. And you said put it on creative, and I kind of agree on that. I wouldn't put it on Corbin. He's just doing what he's instructed to do. You agree? Should there have been a lot more fire or a lot more?
No, I think Corbin has the boo-boo face.
Huh?
I think Corbin has the boo-boo face.
Yeah.
I think he pissed off somebody backstage. I don't know who. Maybe Cena. Maybe somebody in upper management or whatever. And he's had one of the fastest burials I've seen in professional wrestling in many, many years.
Worst week ever.
Within the course of 5 days. So I think I won't put it on creative for what not Jinder. I won't put it on creative for what Baron was doing tonight. I'll put it on Baron as Baron's just in a foul mood. Period. And that's all there is to it. So I don't know who he pissed off. I really don't. I'm going to try to find out. Hopefully I have some news on that by Thursday. I'm going to ask around, and even if somebody tries to tell me he has no heat, I'm going to think they're a liar. Because look, nothing happens in a 5-day span like that if you don't got heat. The dude's got heat. Like there's no other way to put it other than that. So.
And we're probably seeing John Cena tomorrow night on Raw.
I heard he was going the Raw after SummerSlam, so maybe we'll see him on Raw tomorrow. Not that I really care. Like I don't care if I ever see John Cena on a WWE product again. So it doesn't really matter to me either way where he is.
Next up is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Naomi took on Natalya. I thought this was a fairly decent match. Never really kicked into a high gear at all, kind of like what Asuka and Ember Moon did the night before. But I thought it was a decent match. Natalya getting the win after reapplying the sharpshooter, and I'm happy for her. It's been 6 years since she's been champion. I think she deserves it. Naomi's run here established her as a star going forward. She's not going to be in the background any longer. So I don't think losing the title really hurts Naomi in this spot. And, I mean, Natalya's been with the company so long and is only a 2-time champion now. I'm just happy that she's got the title. I think she's just keeping it warm for Carmella somewhere within the next 2 months, is my assumption. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, because Natalya's a heel, but Carmella's kind of not cared if you're a good guy or a bad guy in the sense. So, so I don't hate what happened. I'm happy for Natty. I thought the match was decent, but what did you think on this here, Matt?
I thought the match was fine. But the ending came out of nowhere, and it really felt very flat. Then I was just like, wow, that's it? Like that's all there was to it? I don't know. I just, like, the ending was, I don't know. The ending of the match, like, I didn't really care who won this match. In the Naomi Natty, I didn't really care. Because I felt the Money in the Bank was looming over the entire thing anyway. And I just felt the entire finish was flat and anticlimactic, and I'm just like, my thought after the match was me basically going, that's it. And that was really it. It was like, that's it. That's all there was to it. So,
yeah, I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, it wasn't as intense as the match the night before, obviously, but I think a second round of sharpshooters, putting her right in the middle of the ring, I thought it was a fine finish. I didn't think it was a terrible finish, so to speak. There were a lot of other more matches that had terrible finishes, we'll say. But happy for Natalya there, new SmackDown Women's Champion. Next up is No Mercy in September, and man, that was a creepy commercial with Alexa Bliss, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Big Show, Big Cass, dubbed as the bathroom break match. I saw that all around social media. Enzo cut the promo that lasted too long, in my opinion. I mean, there's times where I like Enzo's promos, but this one just was on and on and on. The match itself was boring. I mean, it got a boring chant from the WWE Universe. I know Matt's happy about that one. Enzo pulls a Joey Ryan and puts baby oil all over himself and slips out of the cage, only to just get booted by Cass. It was like, okay. This atrocity took a whole 11 minutes to finish up, with Big Cass getting the win as expected. So there you go. Matt, what would you just like to say about that real quick?
Moving on.
Angle in the office. Daniel Bryan shows up, and they talk about which show's going to steal the show tonight. And then Angle and Daniel Bryan had a yes and no off, which I thought was kind of funny. So cool stuff there. Orton makes his entrance to the ring. Rusev sneaks in from behind for a cheap attack on Orton before the bell even rang. And they go outside, and Rusev slams Orton into the barricade. They get them separated, put them in the ring the bell. Rusev charges Orton and eats an RKO, and that's it. Maybe Rusev...
Did you see the rumors going around on social media?
No.
That Rusev requested his release?
Oh, boy.
Like, I have no idea if it's true or not. I haven't been able to confirm it. Clearly, anybody that could confirm it for me was busy tonight, clearly.
A little bit.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on that rumor that was making the rounds on social media tonight?
Well, I hope it's not true, but at the same time, I mean, look what they fucking did to him today. I mean, how ridiculous was that?
But do you think they did that to him because he requested his release?
Possibly. I don't know.
Like that's the story going around.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, I don't know.
It's a weird situation because
I don't know if it's like I really want to stress the fact that I have no idea if this is true or not. But that was definitely a rumor I was seeing from multiple people. Were speaking about it on social media after the match was over.
Yeah.
So, take it with a grain of salt. Take it however you want, but
which is ridiculous. I mean,
definitely something people are talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he was both on our lists for the 5 count we did at last night's recording of 5 people in WWE that should be WWE champion by now. And Rusev was on both of our lists. I hope it's not true. I don't know. But, I mean, there was supposed to be him at Money in the Bank, and that kind of fizzled out. I don't know what the hell's happening with some of these people here. It's weird. It's like all the young and promising stars that could be world champions are now getting buried by the established combined 29 title reigns of Orton and Cena. But obviously Orton had a 3-match losing streak to Jinder Mahal going into this, so... maybe this is all just the fact of Orton getting some momentum back, and we, I mean, him and Rusev never really got a feud off the ground, really, so maybe this is a reset switch for both guys, and hopefully both guys move forward. I don't know. That's just my hope. I have no inklings on any of it. I didn't see anything about the rumors of the
I love Rusev. I hope it's not true, but I mean, at the same token, I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah. So this was kind of my final straw. I'm sitting through 2 hours of a pre-show, and then this happened to Rusev, and so I started to just say, okay, I'm going to sleep. So I fell asleep for a little bit, but apparently I missed a good Raw Women's Championship match. Matt, what did you think of Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks?
I loved it. I said that's where I felt the show turned around. I thought those two worked really well together. Mm-hmm. I thought they had a great back and forth match, and Sasha got the win, which further to me cements the fact that I don't think Bayley's really hurt. I think the whole thing was a storyline, and this was meant to happen to set up a Sasha heel turn on Bayley, or maybe Bayley even a heel turn on Sasha.
How cool would that be?
Based based on the crowd reactions that Bayley's been getting over the last few weeks. Maybe they decide to go the reverse role.
How cool would that honestly be? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how a heel Bayley would work. I mean, so I can't say that something like that would be cool until I see what they would want to do with the character.
Well, what Creative's done on the main roster for her has been shit as a face, so why not, right?
I don't know.
Bliss hit the Twisted Bliss for a 2 count at the end of the match. Banks countered and slapped on the Banks statement. Bliss pulled the arm of Banks repeatedly to hurt her bad shoulder that she was working on throughout the match, and then once again, Banks slaps on the Banks statement, and Bliss had nowhere to go and had to tap out after 13 minutes. So your new Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. So far, every title has changed hands. 3 for 3. 4 for 4, actually, to this point, with the Cruiserweights, the tag champions of SmackDown women, and now the Raw women. So 4 for 4 title changes. Next up, it is Bray Wyatt making his entrance, and all sorts of cell phones lighting up the Barclays. This was great. And for the first time in a year, since last year's SummerSlam, we see Demon Balor. And, Matt, it was good to see the Demon back, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, the entrance was great. Balor was great. Good win for Finn. No pun intended, but I feel like he probably exercised the demons of the Barclays Center for him. And onward and upward. Maybe now Balor finally can get his Universal title shot that he's never been granted for never losing the title.
It'd be great if he shows up while a certain Paul Heyman is talking tomorrow night on Raw. I
do know Brock's scheduled to be on Raw tomorrow night, so
I think he's the most logical choice. Balor is.
A lot of people are going to say Braun is.
True, he had a hell of a night, and he didn't get pinned. So
yep.
But Finn Balor 10-minute match. I thought it was pretty good work by both guys. Bray Wyatt has continuously gotten better. I think that the WWE officials have seen that because they've been pushing him pretty decently over the past 8 to 10 months, I would say. But, I mean, this was a foregone conclusion. This was redemption for Balor. Wyatt's small winning streak comes to an end. As Matt said, redemption for Balor from last year. So it was kind of I don't think it hurt either guy at this point. I think Wyatt's going to be just fine. They show a commercial for the Mae Young Classic that comes up starting a week from Monday on the WWE Network, the 29th of August. Bracketology with Corey Graves and Lita aired after the pay-per-view. We're going to catch that here after we record, and maybe we'll break that down here for you on Wednesday for the Thursday episode. But next up, it is Sheamus and Cesaro taking on Rollins and Ambrose. And it's kind of interesting how Rollins and Reigns were wearing the same red and black colors tonight, huh, Matt?
I thought everybody was looking way too much into that. When Roman came out in the same colors he always wears.
Yeah, I know. This, by all means, no surprise, but all 4 guys worked their ass off. I thought this was a tremendous match. I thought this was just great tag team wrestling here. The formula that all 4 of these guys put together, I thought worked for me. They gave them 20 minutes, so and they produced the entire match. I thought it was really well done. In the end, Sheamus and Cesaro hit a double Razor's Edge on Ambrose. Rollins gets in to break up the pin. Sheamus takes Rollins over the ropes and into the floor as both of the champions work on Ambrose. They go for the super white noise, but Rollins hits a sick fucking Hurricane Rana on Cesaro, which launches him into Sheamus, and that allowed Rollins to hit his finisher and Ambrose to hit the Dirty Deeds, and your new Raw Tag Team Champions are Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Matt, What were your thoughts on that match there?
It was a great tag match. Dean Ambrose becomes the 8th Grand Slam winner in WWE history, so that's a hell of an accomplishment for him.
It is. I thought they were going to win. I thought it was just amazing work by those guys. Do you think?
Yeah, I definitely thought they were going to win. Like, there was a little doubt in my mind that you go through that entire build. Like, unless one of them was going to turn heel on the other, there wasn't a doubt in my mind that they were going to win the match.
Do you think this ends with Ambrose turning heel on Rollins eventually?
I hope not. It's been done already.
I would honestly like a Shield reunion, for God's sakes, at Survivor Series.
Roman's too busy being a dickhead, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and he's a murderer too, or an attempted murderer. So 5 title matches, 5 title changes, Matt. At this point, what were your thoughts on the fact that every single title had changed hands by then?
My thoughts were, I really hope AJ Styles doesn't lose his title to Kevin Owens.
This was almost shit. We thought like the Cruiserweight was a foregone conclusion. We thought that the SmackDown tag match was a foregone conclusion. We kind of thought AJ was a foregone conclusion. So I guess there was some pause to worry here. But AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee, as expected. Shane played a big part on it. Owens thinking there's a conspiracy against him. Shane taking the brunt of a few attacks. For example, the 450 splash off of the ropes by AJ Styles. Something the announcers didn't even mention was the fact that Owens pulled Shane on top of him.
Yep. I can't believe the announcers didn't call that.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Shane's just trying to check on him. No, Owens pulled Shane on top of him.
Yep.
And right before that, as AJ was on the top turnbuckle, KO bumped Shane into the ropes to knock AJ off. So there was a little bit of that. There was a couple of missed spots here, but I mean, these guys went 20 minutes, so there's going to be some times where not everything's going to be clean, but I think they recovered to put
I thought the match was great for the most part. I don't mind missed spots as much as other people do. This isn't like what Jim Ross says, this isn't ballet.
Yeah.
To me, that goes way beyond just the fact, the people are beating the crap out of each other. It goes beyond, this isn't supposed to be perfect.
Yeah, let's see you wheel around and catch Owens into a move 18 minutes into a match. Let's see you do that if you're complaining about it.
Yeah, I can't stand the people. I think sometimes the flub ups add a little more realism.
Yeah.
To what they're doing. I've never had an issue with that the way other people do. My only issue when things flub up is my worry about them getting hurt.
Yeah,
and I worry about that stuff. But I mean, when their flub ups don't hurt anybody, I don't freaking care.
No,
it happens. You're a human. And not everything can be perfect.
Yeah,
and like I said, you're not going to see a real fight that's perfectly done either.
No.
UFC fights aren't perfect.
No,
boxing isn't perfect. It's just sometimes people just have over expectations for, wrestling matches to be just absolutely perfect choreographed Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat WrestleMania 3 matches. And, sometimes that's just not the way that it works.
No. Yeah, so to finish my thought, it didn't take away the match at all. I thought both guys worked well. I thought the inclusion of Shane didn't take away from the match either. They did almost everything I expected to do. And so
my only issue with Shane in this match was he was taking bumps like a normal referee would take bumps.
Yeah, and the fact that he fell off a cell. Well, Owens yelled at him for that. He goes, "You fell off a freaking building for crying out loud!" So yeah.
Like some of the beatings that I've seen Shane McMahon take, stumbling out of the ring and being knocked down for as long as he was out there. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, come on. the reason why they assigned you as the referee is so you wouldn't act like a typical referee. And there were spots in that match where Shane acted like a typical WWE referee, which kind of just had me rolling my eyes.
Yeah. So, what did you think on the match as a whole, though?
No, I said already. I really liked the match.
Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about where we go forward with the United States Championship. But next up is a great. I really enjoyed the video package they put for Mahal and Nakamura, considering there hasn't really been a built-in feud here. I thought that was a pretty cool video package they did. And our favorite violinist is on the ramp as he plays Nakamura's theme music as Nakamura comes out to a gigantic pop from the Barclays crowd. The Singh brothers introduced Jinder Mahal.
Dude, and next to no reaction at all.
And here we go. WWE.
I think you could have heard a cricket.
Yeah.
Well, as Jinder Mahal made his way to the ring tonight.
Yeah. And Vince probably heard that cricket too. So you kind of wonder. What were your thoughts overall on? We said it before. I mean, we think this was probably Jinder's best worked match against Shinsuke Nakamura. Outside of obviously the end of the match, what were your thoughts on the match itself, Matt?
Like I said, I liked the match. I hated the finish. I felt the finish made Nakamura look really weak. It's the typical paint by numbers finish that Mahal's had since he's won the title.
Yep.
And I'm already fucking sick of it.
Yeah, and they did it so much with Seth Rollins when he had J&J with him.
Yeah. It's played out already.
Jinder Mahal is your retaining SmackDown WWE champion. So that leads us.
So that happened.
Yeah, that happened. Kind of a short match too, only a little over 11 minutes, where the U.S. title match got 17, and the Raw tag match before it got 18. So it was kind of a short match.
I think they were planning for this show to go past 11, because they said on the pre-show that the main show was a minimum of 4 hours, and it wasn't. I think it cut off a little before 11. So I think their plan was they were going to go beyond 11 o'clock, and they just changed their minds and decided to cut time off and end at 11.
Well, it didn't help when Orton and Rusev was 11 seconds.
Yeah.
I saw a fact that it was not the shortest SummerSlam match in history. I think, if I remember correctly, it was Christian defeating William Regal for the ECW Championship. Was the shortest match in SummerSlam history at 8 seconds. So Rusev, at least you're not in the history books. The three challengers come to the ring. JoJo's in there to do the in-ring introductions for the three guys, and then Paul Heyman says, "I'll take it from here," and introduces Brock Lesnar. And the bell rings, and shit got real, didn't it, Matt?
Real quick, bow.
Lesnar with a belly-to-belly on Joe. Strowman and Reigns fought over to the floor. Then it became the Braun Strowman show, man. Just beating the holy fuck out of everybody, in particular Brock Lesnar. Running power slam through announce table number 1. Running power slam through announce table number 2. And then taking announce table number 3 and flipping it on Brock Lesnar.
And they should have just left him under there.
There
was no reason for the medics to come out and wheel him out. Honestly, they should have just left him under the damn announce table.
Yeah. And Heyman was pleading with him to not take him off, but is Lesnar coming back into the match, Matt? Gee, I wonder.
Everybody fucking knew he was coming back.
Yeah, so you're right.
If you didn't think Lesnar wasn't coming back, you're an idiot.
So
there was no reason he couldn't have just flipped the table off of him and charged back in the ring.
You're right. So yeah, you're absolutely right. They should have just kept him there. That table does not weigh several hundred pounds, Graves. So much like the steel steps don't weigh whatever they said for the back in the tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs stupid thing. But hey, sometimes kayfabe isn't dead, right, Matt?
Whatever, brother.
I was hoping for Strowman to do the running power slam through that table and then take Lesnar and go through all of the foreign announce tables off to the side and then finally take him up to the Raw announce table and do it. I just saw every single table running power slams through them. Wouldn't that have been fun?
I wouldn't have complained.
Would have took a while.
It was kind of unrealistic. By that time, Roman and Joe would have finished the match in the ring.
So after Lesnar got wheeled out and the crowd chants, "Hey, hey, hey, goodbye," Roman and Braun get into it. Braun, holy shit, tossing those steel steps. He almost cleared the ring from rope to rope with how far he threw those steel steps. Roman used them as a weapon on Strowman and actually busted his ear open a little bit. Wasn't too bad though. It looks like they got it cleaned up pretty good. So that was it was good. That it was just a little bit of a cut. It seems. All the guys were beating the hell out of each other, basically to the point where all three were just basically laying down in the ring because they were just beating the living shit out of each other. And lo and behold, Brock Lesnar comes back to the ring, and he really wasn't gone all that long, was he?
5 or so minutes, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I wouldn't say he was gone any longer than that. I didn't time it, but I would say around there. He wasn't gone long.
Yeah. Reigns hit about 85 Superman punches towards the end of the match. Hit a spear on Lesnar, and Lesnar got his shoulder up for the 2 count. Reigns was going for another spear, but Joe, this was great timing when Roman does his whoa and puts his arms up in the air. That was perfect timing for Joe to slap in the coquina clutch. I really loved that spot. Thought that was cool. But then Strowman with a drop kick, looking so freaking amazing that a guy like that could do a drop kick. Hit a power slam on Joe for a 2 count as Lesnar pulled the ref out of the ring. Reigns with some more Superman punches. He had a couple on Strowman, 2 count. But in the end, Lesnar gets slapped on with the coquina clutch by Joe, but fights out of it, hits an F5. Deja vu back to Great Balls of Fire, but Roman Reigns breaks up the count at the very last moment, hits 3 Superman punches on Lesnar to knock him down, sets up for the spear, but Lesnar caught him, hit the F5, and got the win. So after 21 minutes of action in the main event, Brock Lesnar is your defending Universal Champion. And the crowd popped because, well, Reigns got pinned. So
yep. It was the one person they could pin that the crowd and me, for that matter, would have accepted. And I was happy to see Roman take the pinfall. But I won't lie, a part of me throughout parts the ending moments of the match, every time Roman would go to the corner and pump his stupid fist, I was really hoping to hear the gong.
There's an Undertaker chant during that match.
Yeah, because people knew he was in New York, so people knew that there was a chance that we were going to see the Undertaker. And and I won't even lie, part of me wants to see him stay retired, but another part of me, near the end of that match, I was waiting for the gong. I really wanted to hear it. Undertaker's, he's the only guy left from my childhood. Warrior and Savage have passed. Hogan is long retired. Flair's long retired. Taker's the only dude left. I still get that nostalgic feeling. Whenever I see the Undertaker, it's just a really important part of my wrestling childhood. So yeah, deep down, I was really hoping I'd hear the gong. And he'd come back and get revenge on Roman for what he did at WrestleMania, but they didn't do it. So
what was your match of the night? Was it the SmackDown tag match in the pre-show or the main event?
No, absolutely not.
So the main event. I would say the main event for me. I liked it better than don't get me wrong, AJ and Kevin was great. I've seen better matches with those guys. I would say the Fatal 4-Way was my favorite match of the night.
Man, this is hard. You're not going to be able to agree with me because you didn't even see it. My favorite match of the night was Sasha and Bliss.
Yeah.
Like I really liked that match. So
I'll go
like
back
I
and
said,
check that
like
out.
you didn't see it, but for me that was like the turning point of the pay-per-view for me because I was sour as shit. By the time that match started, so the fact that not only did that match, turn me around and allow me to enjoy the rest of the pay-per-view, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I was so done. I was so done with the pay-per-view by the time we got to that match.
Especially after what happened to Rusev.
Yeah, and it really helped, turn the pay-per-view around for me. So
well, where do we go from here? Let's start with the Cruiserweight title.
Fuck if I know, dude. That division's scorched earth now.
Yeah, I don't get it.
There's nobody left.
No. Yeah, I don't
unless
know
you're
either.
bringing Johnny Gargano up, or or they're going to put Aleister Black on 205 Live Tuesday.
God, I hope not.
I'm just like there's nothing left on that division. Neville has run roughshod over the entire group, and Tozawa having the title created a whole bunch of new challengers. But now Neville's got the belt back, so the whole thing didn't mean a damn thing.
On the on the SmackDown tag titles, do you see the Usos and New Day continuing a lengthy feud from here?
Well, New Day should have a rematch, so I would say this feud isn't over. So I don't know.
Do you think Breezango gets in the picture eventually?
I would like to think so, especially if the heels are holding the titles. But I mean, I don't know what their plan is.
For the SmackDown women, do you see a cash in anytime on the horizon, or do you see maybe a Becky Lynch stepping up?
Dude, I think she cashes in Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they waste the opportunity of letting her cash in Brooklyn. And they didn't do it tonight. SmackDown's still in Brooklyn on Tuesday. I could see her cashing in on Natty on Tuesday.
Where would you like to go next with Randy Orton?
Fuck, dude, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I have no good answer for you.
Sasha Banks, we already talked about, possible heel turn, maybe a Bayley heel turn, a Banks and Bliss rematch at No Mercy.
I was going to say, Banks and Bliss are probably going at it at No Mercy, so that's not done yet.
So you feel Strowman is next up in line for the title, or you think Balor answers the call on Monday?
I don't know. I don't know.
Obviously, Cesaro and Sheamus will continue their feud with Ambrose and Rollins. Maybe the Hardys get mixed in with that now that the Revival is out for the next 4 months. I mean, the tag division is still in good hands with these two teams tonight, Gallows and Anderson, and the Hardys. I mean, it's still a good division. So, all all four teams are definitely worthy of getting up there, and there's even Slater and Rhino that they hardly use too. So. Where would you like to see the tag division go next on Raw?
I don't think the feud with Sheamus and Cesaro are done yet. To me, it's just getting started. So,
we almost think it's a foregone conclusion that Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon are going to be squaring off. What about AJ Styles? Who would you like to see step up to the challenge for Styles? I think now that Styles retains, I think we get the U.S. Open Challenge again. I would love to see Styles and Chad Gable.
I don't know. Chad Gable doesn't know how to win a match.
Yeah, he got beat.
So
he got beat by a guy that lost in 10 seconds tonight. So.
Yeah, so.
Well, then who do you think would be next up to take on AJ Styles?
I don't know.
And do you agree that Nakamura and Mahal are not done?
I hope they're not done. I don't know. I don't know if they are or not.
What do you do with the rest of the losers of tonight's match? You think Strowman might be possibly up there for the next match with Lesnar? God, I almost want if Lesnar's holding the title at WrestleMania, put him against Strowman at WrestleMania. The crowd loves it, so why not just do that? I mean, they'll accept it a lot better than Lesnar holding it all the way to WrestleMania for Reigns to take it off him. So, what do you think with Reigns and Joe? What do you got in store for them on Monday Night Raw going forward? Do you think maybe John Cena and Reigns finally have a feud?
Who knows? As clearly Cena's coming over to Raw to feud with somebody. I don't know who the hell it's going to be.
Maybe it's Brock Lesnar. No.
Shut your filthy mouth.
Yes, and thanks to everybody that voted in our poll. LATMC Podcast, giving us the grade for what you thought of SummerSlam. And 24 hours ago, we had asked you what you thought about NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. And 75% of you rated it an A. And 0 of you rated D or F. You think that's going to match SummerSlam, Matt?
Nope.
Not many D or Fs, though. Only 10% gave it a D or F. But only 4% gave it an A. That's 71% less than that gave it an A for TakeOver. And B and C both tied at 43%. I would give it a solid B minus, C plus, just because... That's
exactly where I am. C plus, B minus, and I'm teetering back and forth between the two.
Yeah. It took a while for us to get invested in the show, so it took the Raw Women's title match to get that kick started, and from there on it was pretty decent, even though some of the finishes we didn't agree with, but the action was pretty good throughout after the point of the Women's Raw title match. So I guess maybe if you're gonna book the shit, get it out of the way first, right, Matt?
Yeah, might as well, I guess.
That's going to do it for this edition, this special edition of Lost to the Midcard, where we recorded over the course of 2 nights with TakeOver, our reactions right after TakeOver, and our reactions right after SummerSlam. I'd like to thank SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do to subscribe is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit the subscribe button. You'll know every time a new episode comes your way, every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. We're also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. You can get our links there, and we share a lot of tweets from the pro wrestling world. And Matt is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And Matt, before we look forward to hopefully some electric Raws and SmackDowns this week, what are your final thoughts?
Well, let's see what Raw and SmackDown bring from Barclays. Because normally the post SummerSlam Raw and SmackDowns are normally pretty dope.
Yeah.
So.
And once again, TakeOver wins.
LOL, TakeOver wins.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We'll catch you on Thursday.